Hello. Trust.
Nice. Should text him and be like, hey. Yeah, because originally I was going to do but I had a really good sleep, but then my boss was like, you should go to the show now.
Hey, Mary Kim.
So I had to cancel that. I got refunds for that ticket. But, at least you got a refund? Yeah. I always get refunds. This. Never mind, cancel that.
Can you check the live?
Oh yeah. Summer again. Yeah,
It's not too bad.
That's the reason they call it that.
Yeah, it was just figuring out how to get here from Flamingo and the whole airport, but so far not anything too crazy. Yeah, so Lewis said that he doesn't have a set schedule, but he said whoever's free, they'll contact me and work it up. Yeah, I guess it's a team of 4, so whoever.
Did you see the media communications release?
I didn't go to it yet, but he sent me what?
It's on the same wall as the trade show.
Okay.
He states.
Buy you again.
Yeah.
You know whose stuff this is?
Oh, it's fine. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
John. John, what is it?
We're doing a partnership with them, so.
Here.
Good afternoon. Can I ask you a favor? So I'm going to greet you in Apache. I just said it, which is Red. And you greet me in your language. Or if you only know English, then greet me in English. Ready? Dagote. Beautiful. Thank you so much. We have beautiful languages, don't we? My name is Mary Kim Titla. I'm going to introduce myself first in my language. She Arishni, Mary Kim Titla, San Carlos de Tango Jaga Enchli Gayan Chin Bunchti, Unity by Mazie, I Bahensi. Again, my name is Mary Kim Titla. I'm from the San Carlos Apache tribe. I am very honored to be the executive called Unity. And Unity stands for United National Indian Tribal Youth. How many of you have heard about Unity before? Raise your hands. Whoa, nice, awesome. Okay, so I take it if you did not raise your hand, you don't know very much about Unity, and that's why you're here. Well, we have an amazing panel of young people here today, and in a nutshell, I was just at the American Indian Business Leaders Conference, and the young people were challenged to do a 1-minute elevator speech. So here's my elevator speech. Unity has been around for almost 50 years, serving the leadership needs of Native American youth. Our slogan is inspiring hope, changing lives. Can you repeat that after me? Inspiring hope, changing lives. Inspiring hope, changing lives. Thank you so much. And our goal is to empower youth so that they can utilize their platforms to express their concerns and come up with solutions. We empower youth so that they can not only make a difference in their own lives, but in the lives of people in their tribal communities. And we do this in a variety of ways, including through youth councils. How many of you have youth councils in your tribal communities? Wonderful. So if you don't have a youth council, we can help you. We have a toolkit on our website, unityinc.org, and we offer trainings throughout the year, virtually and in person. And we want to help you get a youth council started if you don't have one. Currently, Unity has more than 300 youth councils within its network, the National Unity Council. Many of the young people up here today are part of that network, and some of them are honorees from our 25 under 25 leaders. We have so many programs that we want to share with you today. We want to get your young person plugged in. No matter what their interest is, Unity is a place for them. Imagine this summer in San Diego, more than 3,000 Native youth will gather together. Can you imagine that? 3,000 young people in one room. That's lots of good energy, good medicine, and just overall magical. I tell people, it's hard to explain Unity because it's like Disneyland. When you go to Disneyland, you can experience that magic, but you share it with somebody else, they want to experience that magic, that same magic, right? Until they go there themselves. So we not only have trainings for young people, but we also have trainings for adults. So with that, welcome. Thank you for being here today, and I'm going to turn this attention over to our amazing young leaders up here. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay. This one. To move this closer. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mahiya Ramirez. I am the Vice President of the National Unity Council Executive Committee, and I also serve as the Southern Plains Regional Area Representative. And I am so honored to welcome you all to our workshop today, Beyond Boundaries, Native Youth Leading with Vision. In this session, it's all about celebrating Indigenous leadership, resilience, and the ways we can honor our heritage while shaping a bold and promising future. Now, before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are all gathered here today on the traditional lands of the Las Vegas Paiute tribe, and we honor the ancestors of this land as well as the indigenous people who continue to steward and protect it today. Now, I'd like to take a brief moment just to reflect. If you could all close your eyes if you're comfortable and think of a leader who has inspired you. This could be someone from your family, your community, or maybe it's a historical figure. What qualities makes them a great leader? Is it their strength, compassion? Maybe it's their dedication. Now take a deep breath and open your eyes and keep all those qualities in mind as we move through today's discussion. Now I'd like to turn it over so we could all hear from some incredible youth leaders who are redefining leadership in their communities. Each of these panelists will share their journey, their challenges, and their vision for the future. And as they speak, I'd like you all to think about how their experiences resonate with you and your own leadership path.
Nule Lindum, LA Pi, Deluency, Alyssa Mosley, Ni Puku Anku, Nanticoke, Lenny Lenape, Huechi Ike, Nutal Sumalk. Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa Mosley. I come to you from the Nanticoke, Lenny Lenape Tribal Nation of Bridgeton, New Jersey. I am one of Unity's 25 under 25 honorees, and I was honored on my platform called Cultural Revitalization Through Fashion. So my project was based on helping my community revitalize our traditional Lenape wear and try to bring women together and learn our traditional clothing. And Unity really has given me the platform to not only expand on that, but to explore my great passion for fashion and sustainability. I really love to thrift and find my personal style through secondhand clothing and trying to preserve the environment as best as I can and doing it while feeling really good about myself. So through Unity, I was able to put on 2 workshops, Thrift and Thrive, and on how to find your personal style through search engine optimization. So thank you to Unity for giving me this platform and helping me find my voice.
Yacht A, Shik A, Talon, Watchman, Yanishya, Bibutodi Nishlan, it's Ice Gini, Bushes Chin, Yabapai Pachi, Desha Che, Tohana, Dashanella. Hello everyone, my name is Talon Watchman. I'm currently a freshman at Stanford University, and I am one of Unity's 25 under 25 honorees, and I'm super excited to be here. And my platform has been helping Native youth in business, and I've been able to do that, further my mission through Unity. And I'm also a part of an organization called ABLE, and so I've kind of helped, Unity has helped me boost my platform, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nizhoni, and I am an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation. I'm coming to you today from Washington, D.C. I'm a senior at Bethesda Chevy Chase High School, and I'm also one of Unity's 25 under 25 honorees. I'm also representing the National Intertribal Energy Council here today as an intern. My platform is financial literacy and furthering Native youth entrepreneurship. So happy to be with you all today.
Hello everyone, Sayuchufia Mariah, Dulac Amatele. Hi, I'm Mariah from Dulac, Louisiana, part of the United Omo Nation tribe. I have a platform in filmmaking. I'm also part of the 25 under 25 cohort. I made a short called Ekba, which premiered at Sundance Film Festival in 2024 and turned into making a docuseries, which I'm co-directing and co-writing, and talking about the environmental changes that are happening in Louisiana and how hard that is to be someone that prides themselves as Louisianian, because there's so much beautiful culture there, but it's like, what does the future hold? So that's what the docuseries and the shorts talk about. And for Unity, I was very blessed to be able to host workshops with filmmaking, which is exciting to showcase the power that stories can hold and how it can change perspectives and show a different part of the world that many people aren't used to. A lot of people, when I go travel and I talk at institutions, are like, I didn't know there were natives in Louisiana, and it's really important to bring my home to people. And so hosting workshops have been amazing, talking to youth, inspiring youth, but also just like being surrounded by so many important and incredible people who are my age who, I mean, like, to be an adult, it's one thing to be inspired by, but to be inspired by people your age is like, I can do it and I can do it now. And so I'm excited to be part of Unity, and I'm excited to bring more people from my tribe into this organization. So thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mazie Countryman. I come to you from Pocatello, Idaho. I am from the Northern Arapaho, Eastern Shoshone, Shoshone-Bannock, and Navajo tribes, and I'm currently a sophomore at Idaho State University studying and majoring in pre-pharmacy, and I'm also the Northwest representative for the National Unity Executive Committee, where I represent Idaho, Alaska, Oregon, and Washington. And you know, my leadership journey started in 2022 when my youth council on the Shoshone-Bannock Reservation, the Fort Hall Youth Council, reconnected and retwindled because, you know, COVID really shook out a lot of youth councils across the United States. So we rekindled that fire of the youth council, and we went to Minneapolis, and I was so struck by, his name is Jonathan Arakawa. He was a Northwest representative before me, and I was struck by his words. And those who know me for a while know I'm very shy, but being a part of this organization has helped me come out of my shell and be comfortable around my peers and being able to build platforms for one another and representing all the youth in my region. And when I ran for this position, I made sure to have a platform for myself, which was mental health. And I actually created these stickers where it said, "You are loved and you matter." And it was just a little reminder for all the youth in my region that I'm representing, that they are loved and they matter, and they're very appreciated. So thank you.
Manahu and hello everyone. My name is Ashley Johnston and I'm from Bishop, California, and I'm a part of the Bishop Paiute tribe. I'm currently the Pacific Region representative, which means that I represent all Native youth in California and Hawaii. My leadership journey started in the 6th grade when I joined youth council in my region, and ever since then I started going to Unity and have been involved ever since. I'm very excited and thankful to be here. Thank you all for having me.
How do you all incorporate your culture, teachings, and tradition into your leadership?
So the way that I try to incorporate my culture is through clothing. Like my platform is cultural revitalization through fashion. So a big part of Native identity is what we wear. You know, you can look at someone and you can tell who they are and where they come from based on what they're wearing. So for me, I felt like it's really important, like on the day-to-day, try and find ways to incorporate that into my everyday outfits, whether it's a pair of beaded earrings or a Lenape wrap skirt or a necklace. And it's really important to be wearing these in spaces where we are like the minority. You know, people will, you know, look at you and have funny faces because you're standing out, but, you know, we're in a society where we weren't allowed to be out and proud about who we are. You know, a lot of the elders in my communities back home weren't allowed to be out and and proud about being Nanticoke Lenni Lenape. So for me, I try to incorporate something in my outfit every day that's kind of like an ode to my ancestors and my current relatives who aren't proudly about who they are. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I think ways that I've incorporated cultural identity into my own life and my story has really been through storytelling and through my words. I think, and I've been in a lot of spaces, and growing up in a school that's predominantly white, I've kind of had to be an advocate for myself and to tell others. I've met some people who don't even know what native. They're like, "What is native? What does that mean? What is?" And so it's my job and my duty to kind of explain that to them, and not just explain that, but kind of take it a step further and explain. I'm Navajo, so I'll explain my cultural values, my cultural identity, and kind of why it's so important and why they should care. So I think going into a lot of these spaces, I've been able to share my story and kind of give them a peek and a taste and to educate them. And I think that's something that I've really taken to heart. And especially in these past couple years, I think it's really important, and I think everyone should know about it, and everyone should be aware of that we were here, right, before everyone else. And so I think in each space that I've walked into, I've kind of taken it as a teaching opportunity, and I think that those are the ways that I've kind of integrated that into my own life. Yeah.
Yes, so this is a difficult question for me to answer because I grew up on the East Coast. I am Navajo. My family is Navajo, and growing up in Washington, D.C., there wasn't really a direct community that I could connect with. So following my platform with Native youth entrepreneurship, in every position, opportunity, or internship that I take, it's my responsibility to let the world know and the people I'm working with know that Natives are here and they're here to do work. So the Tribal Energy Universe podcast that I am currently working on as the producer of, that is our way of showing the world that, yeah, we're here, but we're bringing our culture into every sector. So my job being the energy sector, we bring energy professionals from all around the nation, from every tribe, and we really advocate for the projects that we're working on.
Yeah, so as a filmmaker, I think it's important what you make your films about, but also how you make your films. A lot of films can be extractive. It's like helicopter researchers where they come in, take what they need, and leave, and they don't leave you with anything except you being on the screen. So I think it's important for me when I direct that if it's on my community, which all my films are about my community, I talk to them and I put them into the process of writing, because at the end of the day, it's their stories. And if I make them comfortable, if I'm there for long periods of time, and if I communicate with them, get close to them, and I'm still there with them at the end and after I do my projects, that's the way I choose to use my culture and to also just be a good person and be a good filmmaker and to build community and not take away from them.
Okay, so ways that I honor my heritage or culture while I'm leading change is just remembering and honoring those who come before me, my ancestors. You know, they prayed for all of us to be here, to have these positions, to have a voice, and it's really important that we honor them. And it makes me think of how the residential schools were a place to take the Indian out of us and to take the culture out of us and to take the language out of us. And I think of my late grandma, Vivian Teton. She was Eastern Shoshone from Wyoming, and she was placed in a residential school for 7 years. And she was forced to wear small shoes, and her feet stayed that size, and they were still that size until she passed on. So honoring her and trying to learn my language, because it's kind of hard to learn my language because it wasn't passed down to her kids and then their kids. So just trying to honor that and try my best to learn my language as much as I can and attend the workshops that are given to us throughout my tribe, and just being able to honor my ancestors because they prayed so much for us and they want us to be here and have this voice. So thank you.
Some ways that I incorporate my heritage into, or incorporate heritage while I'm leading change is we like to use Paiute language in a lot of our workshops, and while we're on a lot of our trips, we like to use to keep our language alive. We like to use it a lot, and we like to use a lot of elders as our workshop leaders and as just to help us because they know a lot more than we do. So just keeping our language alive is one of the ways that I incorporate heritage into leading change.
Okay. What are some of the biggest challenges you guys have faced within your leadership journeys this far?
I would say a big leadership challenge I had faced. I know a lot of people may go through this, but just imposter syndrome, not feeling like I belong in this seat. Even way before I applied for 25 under 25, like the imposter syndrome was really holding me back from my true potential. And it was really when I was awarded 25 under 25, it kickstarted my career. If anyone is in the position of, postgraduate and trying to find a job post-grad, it can be a really difficult process, and it can really mess with the mind and your self-worth. And becoming a 25 under 25 and having 24 beautiful people along my side, having those same struggles, but also there to lift you up and encourage you. And after meeting these beautiful people, like, I don't even know what imposter syndrome is. Like, the relationships that I have built has plummeted me forward, or plummeted, but ricocheted me forward into the person I am today. And so I'm so grateful for the last year, because there was a lot of setbacks, but once I got to know other people in my cohort and see the amazing work that they're doing, and the fact that I was honored along with these people, it really boosted my confidence and made me believe in myself a lot more. So yeah, these youth up here are doing such great things, and there's no words I can express to show how grateful I am for just the words of encouragement that I have gotten from my cohort over this last year. So.
Hi. Like I said, I went to a predominantly white school, and so I think that comes with a lot of challenges on its own, kind of like being comfortable in my own skin and showing that side of myself. And I think a lot of youth probably feel that way, especially growing up in the modern world and especially going into the workforce too. I think I've had a lot of experience with that now that I'm at a big university and I'm getting involved in clubs, in the student government, and just all of the different ways. And I think I've really learned kind of just how to be an advocate for myself. And I think in many cases, I've kind of had to go out of my way to find those resources, to continue to learn my language, to continue to practice my cultural ways, to continue the things that are important to me. And I think it's hard. Sometimes you might want to shrink from those challenges, from the people who make you feel less than. But I think it's important to just keep your head up, keep going, remind people that you're here, and just remember the goals and the missions and what you believe in. And change can't happen if you don't do that. So I think that's something that I've really learned. And I think I've also kind of taken advantage of that. Although in some ways it might feel like a disadvantage, I've kind of taken it as an advantage to understand the modern world and kind of just understanding how we as natives can kind of blend with that, because that's our future, correct? So we kind of have to show people that we're there, but blend it together in a meaningful way, and a way that we can make change. And so I think I've kind of done that, and like I said, I've taken every opportunity that I can to teach others about my culture and maintaining my cultural practices. And I've been lucky enough now at the school that I go to Stanford. We have a wonderful Native community, and I'm lucky that I'm able to take Navajo language as a class. So I'm currently in the third part of that, and I think I'm super fortunate, but I think it's important to remember that others may not be as fortunate. So I think I've kind of made it a mission, and I'm hoping that in my future endeavors that I can kind of help those that may not be in that position, or kind of just uplifting others and reminding them that they can do the same, and uplifting my community that did the same for me. So I'm hoping all Native youth will be able to do that, and that's kind of my focus as well. So thank you.
So key challenges, this is kind of what I already mentioned before. I grew up in Washington, D.C., that's where I still go to school. And this isolation from not only my community, where I didn't really know who I was a part of, my extended family, and the proximity to indigenous events like this one here. It was just hard because when you're younger, you want to go run around with your cousins, you want to go to the powwows, to the dances, you want to learn how to sing and drum, and I've had to do that as I'm older. So like Alyssa said, the imposter syndrome is real. But the most important thing that I've taken away from that is it's okay to fail, and failing quickly is how you get better and get better faster. Yeah, you can't go through life with hesitation. So I faced this challenge head on when I was founding my DC, Maryland, and Virginia chapter. Mary Kim Tilla, shout out right there. And yeah, it was hard finding members at first, because not only were natives scarce, but they didn't even want to come out and acknowledge the fact that they were Native in the first place. I go to a all-white school, pretty much right in the heart of a neighborhood that wasn't so encouraging for me when I was growing up. So finding these fellow kids that wanted to find a community was challenging. And I can say now we've grown. We have so many wonderful members. We even have South Americans in there, and it's a great, diverse chapter. So I'm happy to be a part of that. But yeah, I mean, I didn't surrender to this disconnect. I chose to grow from the pressure. I turned to career opportunities. One that I wanted to shout out was working with Battleground Indian Country, a 501c4. We campaigned for tribal, state, and presidential elections. But once again, we had to go out to the West, to my community and my family where I'm from, where the support was, which is hard for a lot of people. I know I've been very lucky to experience that. But yeah, our efforts included social media campaigning, participation in parades, distributing flyers, and hosting voter registration drives. So conducting all this voter outreach was a good way for me to connect with my community and really encourage others to take the lead and step up in opportunities like this.
I think a lot of the hardships I faced is trying to grow into leadership. In my middle school and high school years, I was really in a drought of not knowing the opportunities out there. The guidance counselor not knowing how to handle or not knowing themselves, the opportunities that Native youth can have. So I think just not knowing the resources available, my librarian was my role model, really. She went to a Dartmouth fly-in program in the late 90s, and she was like, hey, you should like do this. And it was fun, but you know, it didn't go ultimately. And so I was like, yeah, sure. And then I went and I got into Dartmouth, did the fly-in, and it was an amazing opportunity that I wouldn't have known if my librarian didn't tell me and that she went in the 90s. And I think like those opportunities just need, I don't know really how, just needs to be more accessible to youth everywhere. I mean, I'm from a state recognized tribe, and in many ways it does feel a little bit isolating in our indigenous identity. But now I'm taking the opportunity to be the annoying person on Facebook to repost everything I know from like other people that are like putting opportunities on their pages. Because when you think about it, social media is like the mini world you create based on like the people you know. And if you don't know anyone who are doing those things or sharing them, then you don't know about it. So yeah, I'm the annoying person that reposts everything, and I have 3 younger sisters. So now I'm fortunate to pass down the things that I didn't get to do to them, like College Horizons, for example. Unity I didn't know until like 2-3 years ago. And so now like they're knowing these things. And so yeah, I think just like being vocal of the opportunities, mentorships, internships that the youth can have is really important and can be really life-changing and can really direct them in a path that they didn't know they could have. So yeah.
So one of the main challenges I have faced while growing up is self-identity, and it's hard to say, but not feeling Native enough, because I grew up in a very urban community, Pocatello, Idaho, about 15 minutes from the nearest reservation, and I went to a prominently white high school, and it was really hard when I was taught at home that I'm Native American, but when I go out to the tribes, they tell me that, oh, you're whitewashed, or oh, you don't know your language, or oh, you don't come to these ceremonies. But it just is really hard, you know? And for a long time, I felt like I was the only one that felt like I wasn't Native enough. And actually at the Unity Conference last year in Portland, myself and Mahiya Ramirez did a workshop about living in 2 worlds and not feeling Native enough. And we had about 3 sessions, and all those sessions were full rooms of kids who felt the same exact way. And it was really empowering and really amazing and really relieving to see that other youth were feeling the same exact way. And it was really overwhelming at first, because that was our first time doing that workshop, and we didn't know how to like deal with people really coming forward and telling their stories, and it was getting emotional in there, and we had to pray before we left the room, because it was just so much hurt that these kids were feeling that they weren't Native enough. So I feel like advocating and hosting these workshops, it really brings out who we are and the challenges we are going through. So that is one of the challenges I have faced.
One of the challenges I think I faced was just being a Native youth in the white school system, because a lot of our history is based on what they teach us and not what we want to learn. And a lot of the kids there at our schools are very prone to racial profiling due to what they know and what they've grew up on. And I think one of my challenges are really trying to get outreach in school to other youth that are not Native, and help them understand that we were here first, and that our history is way more important than the history that we are being taught.
Thank you all so much for sharing a little bit about your leadership journeys with us. Now we're going to transition into our small group discussion activity.
Okay, now it is all of your guys' turn. We are going to be breaking into smaller groups to discuss some key questions. Our goal here is to share ideas, learn from each other, and explore ways to redefine leadership while staying true to our cultural values. All of our groups will have 5 minutes to discuss the questions.
We need to organize them. Rose, do you want to speak? I can do it. Wait, what do you mean, Rose? Okay, so we're gonna want everybody to turn to your neighbors left and right, and we're gonna go by rows. And then we're gonna have representatives come around and facilitate discussions. So please introduce yourself to the person sitting next to you. Say hi to some people you don't know, and we'll be around shortly.
Okay, we have our youth facilitators going around getting everyone situated, and when you guys are in your groups, we will have 5 minutes to discuss the questions. What challenges do Native youth face in leadership today, and how can we redefine leadership while staying true to our cultural values? Okay, guys, in 2 minutes, we will be ending our discussion and we will be having 2 volunteers come up and share what they discussed. Okay, now we will be bringing the discussions to an end and returning to our seats. Would anyone like to take a healthy risk? 2 people, please come and present what they discussed about.
All right, everyone, can we please quiet down really quick? If you're still in your small groups, please go back to your seats. We're going to have a couple of presentations. Thank you.
Monahu, everyone. I'm Carrie Brown. I'm from Bishop, California. I'm Ashley's mom. And for our group, our challenge was a lot of our youth in our area, they're so busy, they're so active, they participate in so many opportunities. And so being busy is kind of one of their challenges and a hardship. Another thing that we listed was possibly, you know, there are a lot of opportunities, but it can become a financial burden. And finding resources to participate in opportunities, whether it's sports or youth leadership conferences, it can sometimes become a financial burden. And then for how we can redefine leadership while staying true to our cultural values, we discussed that they could incorporate their language, whether it's in a song, taking a healthy risk. I know that a lot of our programming is now offering those opportunities to open a prayer or share a song with the youth. So when our youth are willing to accept that invitation to share their culture.
My name is Marco Bondo. I am Shoshone Paiute from Oahe, Nevada. My group, we took a very discussion approach to this, and we all had like a unique characteristic of, we were very motivated, ambitious youth in our younger days, but now we have entered the workforce in the professional realm, and we have a lot of pushback from our older mentors, our older colleagues, our coworkers, our leadership, that the common youth struggle of youth not being heard is also being played out in the workplace, where younger employees don't feel like they have the voice of having a new opinion on how we could change these institutionalized systems. So some of the solutions that we thought of was having an opportunity, once we have that door open, leave a wedge in that door by having youth have that ability to voice their concerns in these institutions, slowly erode these old colonial setups, having the opportunity for the youth to come discuss their needs to our greater communities, our community governments, our tribal governments, and then incorporating our youth gradually into this system to where our elders don't feel like it's being completely crazy and flipping the script, but to the point where everyone can accept it and return back to our cultural values of having everyone's input in what builds our communities together. Thank you.
So as we bring our breakout session to a close, I just... One more?
Hello, my name is Tina Gonzalez. I'm a member of the Shiwits Band of Paiutes from the Shiwits Reservation on the border of Utah and Nevada. I was saying that I know one of the struggles that we have with our youth is that as a vice chairman for our council is the drug problem that we have, and we're a small band of people, but we have like the vapes with the marijuana, and then the bigger drugs, which is the fentanyl now, that has killed many of our, actually a lot of our people lately. And as a leadership team, it's like we want to be able to talk about it, discuss it, and bring it to the forefront. But how do we do that without pushing the younger generation away from wanting to hear us as adults, because it's just like goes in one ear and out the other. So this has become a real problem. So this is something that I brought to the our discussion, and actually we had some really good talks in just that short little couple of minutes there. So I would like to invite my next partner here.
My name is Regina Kosarek-Turchik from Tuxuk Bay or Nunakayak, Alaska. I'm Yupik, and along the lines of Tina, what she just mentioned, the way we think that this could be combated and resolved is through traditional healing practices rooted in indigenous cultures, such as inviting youth to participate in practices such as language revitalization, subsistence practices, place-based education as well. And one of our other partners mentioned that it would help these youth discover their talents and even hone them and bring them further down to the next generations.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. I know it can be really hard to talk about these challenges that we face in our community. And one thing that I want to mention is that at our mid-year conference, we focused on digital storytelling, and we focused that on the top 10 issues that were facing Native youth, and that was based on a survey that the youth had taken themselves. And it was such a beautiful process to watch these youth take their ideas of such difficult conversations and turn them into something really beautiful. They took these top 10 issues that were facing their community and turned them into PSAs, graphics, reels, TikToks, and they had an absolute blast. Like, I don't know how you turn something positive out of suicide prevention, but they did it, and it was just truly beautiful. But I'm gonna close out our breakout session here for today, and just hopefully you can take something along with it, that leadership isn't only just about overcoming challenges, it's about taking action. So hopefully today you can think about one action that you hope to overcome within the next year to bring to your community, something you can accomplish from this breakout session.
specifically the importance of mentorship and cultural grounding, overcoming self-doubt and embracing leadership opportunities, and finding balance between tradition and innovation. So on the note cards that we gave you today, we would just like you to write down one action you are committed to taking in the next year to lead your community. It can be big or small. What matters is that it's meaningful to you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all for being here today and for the work that you all do in your communities. Remember, leadership isn't about the titles. It's about taking action, lifting others up, and honoring who you are. We look forward to seeing the incredible things you will do and accomplish. Keep leading with vision. And if you guys want any information materials about Unity, we have some right up here in the front. But thank you.
Those are always like scary, but I feel like I always get like better every time I do one.
I never had time, and that's why Alyssa is going to be any stylist that can make any what are you called? Like,
You be your personal stylist, babe.
not for your like, but like costume stylist. Yeah. Thank God. I'm not going to be able to manage that. You wouldn't want me to. Let's put it that way.
I saw your presentation. You guys uploaded some stuff.
Yeah, just like 4 slides, super.
Yeah, we can't do without them.
Well, we can wing it. We can wing it. Yeah, that's us.
Here, we have the introduction.